Tyler Grant never thought heroism would sneak up on him in the middle of a grocery store parking lot, with a half-eaten granola bar in one hand and a tired toddler clinging to the other. He was just a single dad trying to juggle diapers, deadlines, and dinner, always one step behind life but doing his best to keep moving forward. That Sunday afternoon, he was already worn thin. His daughter, Emma, hadn't napped, his ex hadn't returned his calls about switching weekends, and his old Ford was making a noise he couldn't afford to get diagnosed. But in the chaos of everyday life, fate often drops a moment that splits time in two, before and after. Tyler had just clicked Emma into her car seat when he heard it, a muffled scream, sharp and sudden, slicing through the air like glass shattering. He turned, instinct tightening his chest. Across the lot, a man was gripping a teenage girl's arm, yanking her toward a beat-up sedan. She was resisting, clearly terrified, her voice barely escaping past the man's hand clamped over her mouth. Tyler didn't think. He didn't weigh the odds. He didn't stop to wonder if the girl knew the man or if this was some horrible misunderstanding. All he knew was that the look in her eyes was the same one he'd seen in his daughter's once, pure, helpless fear. He ran. A second later, his fist connected hard with the man's jaw. The stranger stumbled back, releasing the girl with a grunt. Tyler stepped between them, chest heaving, heart pounding in his ears like a war drum. "Get away from her," he shouted. The man scrambled to his feet, glaring at Tyler. "You don't know what you're doing, man. Try me." Before it could escalate, two bystanders, young guys with phones already recording, rushed in. The man bolted, disappearing behind a row of cars. The girl collapsed to the pavement, shaking. Tyler crouched beside her, gently placing a hand on her shoulder. "You're safe now," he said softly. "I'm Tyler. Are you hurt?" Her name was Kayla. 17. She had been walking home from her part-time job when the man grabbed her. He wasn't family. He wasn't anyone she knew. Just someone who thought he could take what he wanted in broad daylight. The police arrived minutes later. Statements were taken. Witnesses vouched. Tyler held Kayla's hand until her mother arrived, sobbing and thanking him between breaths. Tyler nodded, still shaking, the weight of what had almost happened finally settling on him like wet cement. Later that night, after Emma had fallen asleep curled up with her favorite stuffed elephant, Tyler sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the wall. He wasn't a hero. He was just a dad, scared out of his mind. But something inside him wouldn't let him walk away. Maybe it was the idea that, one day, if Emma were ever in trouble, someone would do the same for her. Over the next few days, the video went viral. Headlines read: "Single dad stops attempted abduction," and "Ordinary man becomes neighborhood hero." People dropped off thank you notes at his doorstep. A local bakery delivered cupcakes. The mayor even sent a letter of commendation. But the real change happened quietly, off camera. A few weeks later, Kayla and her mom stopped by. She looked different, less afraid, more herself. She handed Tyler a small box. Inside was a keychain with 2 engraved words, "You mattered." "I was starting to think no one ever would," she said, eyes shining. "No one would help. No one would care. And then you came out of nowhere. You punched first, asked later, and it saved my life." Tyler blinked hard, swallowing emotion. "I just did what anyone should do." "No," Kayla's mom said, stepping forward. "You did what most people don't do. And that matters." After they left, Tyler looked at the keychain for a long time. It now hung on his car keys, a quiet reminder every morning that the world wasn't only built by grand gestures or big names, it was stitched together by people who decided, in a single moment, to care more than they feared. He didn't get everything right. He still burned frozen pizza and forgot to pack snacks for daycare. He still worried about bills and second-guessed his choices. But that one decision, that heartbeat of courage, had rippled outward in ways he couldn't fully grasp. A few months later, Tyler was at the park with Emma when another dad recognized him. They talked for a bit, and the man admitted that he'd taken a self-defense course because of Tyler's story. Said he was trying to be braver, more prepared. "I figured if a regular guy like you could do it," he said with a grin, "maybe I could too." That's when it hit Tyler: bravery isn't about being fearless. It's about doing the right thing despite the fear. In a world that often feels indifferent and overwhelmed, it's easy to believe our actions don't matter. But sometimes, just one act of courage, a punch thrown in defense of someone vulnerable, a voice raised against wrong, can rewrite someone's entire story. Tyler never set out to be a symbol. He was just trying to get groceries with his daughter. But the universe doesn't always wait for heroes to wear capes. Sometimes, it taps a tired single dad on the shoulder and says, "It's your turn now." And when that moment comes, the difference between before and after can be everything.